Based on your understanding of a Christian worldview, how would you define psychopathology? So in our text from Kring and Johnson 2022, they define psychopathology as the field concerned with the nature, development, and treatment of psychological disorders, and that it is constantly developing. So taking that into my sense or understanding through a Christian worldview, I would define psychopathology as not a simple black and white definition or explanation, and that is because it is constantly evolving and it needs to be defined by many explanations. Kring and Johnson 2022 also talk about the DSM-5 and how it has provided several components for defining mental disorders. So the disorder occurs within the individual. It involves clinically significant difficulties in thinking, feeling, or behaving. It usually involves personal distress of some sort, such as a social relationship or occupational functioning. It involves dysfunction in psychological, developmental, and neurobiological processes that support mental functioning. It is not a culturally specific reaction to an event, and it is not primarily a result of social deviance or a conflict with society. So all of these play a role in defining what psychopathology really entails. I can see where the psychological disorders and mental health struggles can be possibly seen as a negative component in the relationship that an individual has with God or their religion or spirituality. But in my own perspective, I feel like God has made each of us knowing what struggles we are going to bear in life because He created us in His own image and likeness. What does the Bible say about abnormality? So I feel that the concept of abnormality in the Bible can be interpreted that these abnormalities or the mental and psychological disorders are considered sins, when in reality, I think that they are far from that. Today, I think we have a better understanding of the difference between choosing to commit a sin and then having a psychological disorder, a mental illness that we are not able to fully control and that we did not create ourselves. In the Bible, I think that we can agree that there have been many verses that talk about these illnesses or sicknesses, and that some may interpret these illnesses as from the physical body, but I think they can also be illnesses from our mental health as well. So in Matthew 14:14, it states, "And Jesus went forth and saw a great multitude and was moved with compassion toward them, and He healed their sick." Matthew 11:28, "Come to me, and all you who are weary and burdened, I will give you rest." Psalm 34:28, "The righteous cry, and the Lord hears them and deliver them out of all their troubles." So I think in these three examples, it really shows how the Bible is not specifically stating what type of illnesses they are dealing with or ailments that they're dealing with. And that allows us to interpret them, that it's not just coming from the physical body. God can also be healing them from their mental illnesses as well. What is the secular view of abnormality? So I think the secular view of abnormality has really exited the stigma that it once had behind it and has become a more accepted and acknowledged construct. So I think 20 years ago, and maybe even less than 20 years ago, the notion with mental illnesses, as the individual has this abnormality, that they're alone in this, that they it's not physically seen, their mental illness necessarily, and so that they just need to get over it. While in current times, I think it has appeared that society is not afraid to talk about mental illness anymore. We acknowledge it, accept it, and then we are really working together to bring more awareness to the field. So I hope you guys enjoyed my discussion video, and I look forward to all of yours, and I hope you guys had a great first week back. Thanks so much.